I was somewhere between the ages of 4 and 7 when I decided I'd like to go to heaven. So I got down on my knees and prayed that Jesus would choose my heart to save. See, I was the epitome of the good church kid. I knew more memory verses than the pastor did. I had memorized the "You need Jesus" pitch, and in church Bible books, I was rich. And all of that came so easily right up until things weren't going so great for me. I was 6 and social and had all the answers when my best friend started her battle with cancer. The first time I ever saw my dad cry was when he told me my grandma, his mother, would die. I wish I could say that she went out brave, laughing and fighting the last of her days, but the truth is she was scared and small, lacking a lot of bravery as far as I can recall. And then she left us very early, her death falling precisely on my 7th birthday. And yes, I was sad, and yes, I cried. I was 7 with depression and constant tears in my eyes. While other kids were playing wall ball, I was thinking about death, questioning how to spend this time I had left. By the time I hit middle school, I was being seduced by blades, begging God to end it for me and to take my life away. And though I never made a cut, never broke my skin, there were plenty of other scars forming within. At age 13, I avoided mirrors, hating the way my reversed image appeared, because all I could see in that awkward reflection were signs of hurt, no worth, and painful rejection. And then, out of nowhere, 8th grade, early March, God said, "Okay, it's time to restart. I'm sick of you thinking you got your crap in order. You think life is some prison and I am your warder. You're going to a conference where you'll learn about my love and this know-it-all attitude. Yeah, that's something to get rid of. You feel you lack purpose and callings are my business, but first you have to understand this concept of forgiveness. Daughter, you've been beating yourself up for 6 long years, thinking your grandma died because of your fears. Daughter, I have a plan for you. You're gonna be a leader other kids look up to. You're gonna just listen. You're gonna hear what I say. You'll be an evangelist. That'll be okay. You like words. You're not afraid to publicly speak, but when you need to, you've got the ability to be meek. I've got one more thing that needs to get through to you. Daughter, you're beautiful, obedient, and I love you." I might have shed a tear or 2,000, but it didn't whip me into shape for good the way that kind of talking to should. Like David, I pushed my problems from bad to worst, and I put my own plans before putting God's first. God and I were close again, and yet I still would fall. Like Jonah, he gave me orders that I didn't follow at all. At age 14, I always smiled, seeming full of vim to hide the fact that I stayed with my abusive boyfriend because I thought leaving might hurt him. So I put up with the bruises and scars until I snapped like Job. I had to pray for the strength of Esther and the wisdom of Solomon. And it was about that time I was starting to understand that my specific flavor of calling was not a generic brand. It wasn't mass-produced, preserved, or canned. It was lovingly and carefully prepared for me by hand. See, earlier God mentioned words in association with me, and apparently at age 15 that was a little harder to see because I was thinking conversations when God had different expectations. I thought I was good with communications, but God was expecting declarations. I was prepared for one-on-one relations, and He was wanting me to speak to nations, which was fine. I didn't think public speaking was scary, but for some reason this thing made me tarry because God was going to speak through me in rhyme, which didn't come naturally all of the time. Poetry was kind of frilly and romanced and sing-songy and silly, and that's when God introduced me to spoken word, and my artistic view was somewhat blurred because theater Kaylee was way better at speaking, but academic Kaylee was better at thinking, but it was God's Kaylee that had a knack for linking her thoughts into words and them flying like birds, and I know that that's absurd, but it's the calling I heard. And I'm something of a Jesus nerd. So I'm praying for some prophecies and fighting all my Pharisees, and over time God's let me see He's made a disciple out of me. Broken, awkward, shy, loner me. He's revealed my passions to me, things like hospital ministry, and now I'm pursuing an expensive degree so that he can continually use me. Where he'll call me next, I can't see, but I promise I won't be afraid to agree. Hey there, I want to thank you for sticking it out with me on this awful, fluorescently lit 24-hour computer lab journey. I just want to take a second to remind you that you're really special, that God has handcrafted you for amazing purposes that you can't even imagine, and I hope you don't forget that. Um, yeah, I'm really excited to continue on this journey with you now that you've got a little bit of background as to who I am and how I got here. And just remember, you are smart, you are strong, you are loved, you belong. Have a blessed night. Take care.